Yes, breaking boundaries, and this is Salam Media. There is it. And it's now time for the final segment. This is Friday Night Live with me, ST. It's time for the Car Talk segment. We're talking to Mike Bolhuis, obviously, who is a specialist investigator into serious and violent and economic crimes. We're discussing the new modus operandi, which seemingly depicts hijackers in South Africa. And there was a video that circulated on social media and messaging platforms. And we welcome now Mr. Mike Bolhuis to the program. Mr. Mike Bolhuis, good evening to you. Welcome to Salam Media and Friday Night Live.
Sarfaraz, thank you for the opportunity once again. I'm highly delighted to assist.
Great stuff. Now, obviously, for those who don't know, Mr. Mike Bolhuis is a specialist investigator into serious and violent and economic crimes as well, for those who don't know. Now, there's a video that's gone viral on social media and messaging platforms. It depicts, obviously, what appears to be a new way to hijack people. It's not clear when this video was taken, and I seen this, I think it was on the News 24 article, and how common the modus operandi is. Now, it still serves a reminder, for us as people, the importance of obviously being wary, your awareness of where you are, and the video that I saw, it depicted a hijacked female. She entered a highway behind another vehicle. Even though it was completely unexpected, there are some basic techniques to help detect a potentially dangerous situation immediately and then give you the chance to escape the situation, right? Now, Mike, you're obviously well experienced when it comes to this type of thing. Talk to us about this so-called new modus operandi firstly, and then we'll delve a bit deeper as to how to react if you find yourself in that unforeseen situation or circumstance.
Okay, the first thing that I must say is that there is no such thing as being completely ready for any serious violent crime if it does occur with you. You can even be the best investigator or the most cold-hearted or unemotional person on earth. When a serious violent crime is being perpetrated upon yourself or committed against you, it's usually a situation where you would not expect it. In other words, the advantage is already in the hands of the criminals. That's number one. But even also, if you're the best trained or just a normal public person wherever in the world, and a violent crime is being perpetrated upon you, there are certain things you can do, and I will highlight them in a moment. Sure. And then thirdly, I believe in crime prevention. So in today's day and age, I have been teaching people, giving information, sending out projects in order to get people all the more prepared in the last 10 years, and even so more in future, how to prevent serious violent crimes being perpetrated upon yourself. And therefore, on that number 3 point, I would like to say that you should be at all times extremely careful. You should be watchful of your surroundings. We still find people on the cell phone in the car. We still see them placing the car, dealing with children at the back, not properly looking in all the mirrors, listening to music, chit-chatting in the car, and all that kind of stuff. So when you get into a vehicle, you must actually treat it like, I would say, even like a firearm. It should be treated with the utmost respect. You should be extremely concerned. And some people might say, yes, but is that a way to live today? And I would say yes, because hijackings is one of the, talking in South Africa now, one of the biggest crimes committed. And a lot of hijacks are committed because the criminals can get away with it. Crime begets crime. When a crime is successful, you will get more criminals getting involved in this crime, perpetrating this crime on the public. And therefore, you'll get more syndicates and more gangs that will put in orders for specific cars. And in South Africa, due to the corruption in the police, corruption in the government, there is no protect and serve motto amongst the police. There's some policemen that really try their utmost, but the real safety and security network in South Africa is non-existent. So therefore, you should be paranoid. You should be extremely careful, and when you enter your vehicle, you should be very aware about everything that's about you. You should not be drinking and driving. You should not be under medication. Your attention should not be in any way on anything else other than the road and your surroundings. And when you do find the slightest uneasiness or pick up things, and it's good to read up what you can look for, because there's too many to mention.
Right.
Each of us has a bit of a sense that, this car, there's people watching me, or this car is following, could actually pass me, but is following me. Small things that makes you uneasy. It's best at that moment to drive to a safe place, to the closest or nearest police station, or if it's at night, to a very well-lit area where there's other people, etc., etc. But do take note that the hijackers of today do not mind hijacking you during the day in heavy traffic. They have no problem hijacking you in front of a mall where there's security and where there's boom gates. Hijackers of today do not care. Any time of day or night, in front of your house, wherever you find yourself, even on your way to holiday or at your holiday premises, they do not mind, because they come in with guns, they come in as a group, and the whole hijacking situation in South Africa has instilled so much fear into the public that they immediately, obviously, just get out of the car, give the car over, leave all variables behind, etc., etc. Don't put up a fuss. Do not confront.
On that point, Mike, you mentioned, reactions of people. Now, when you find yourself in that situation, your natural instinct is to, either you're going to be shocked or you're going to react in a certain way. I was just listening the other day. I don't know if it was on 5FM or 702, but anyway, somebody was talking, and they were saying that, do not use your right hand to undo your seatbelt, because automatically the guy's thinking you might draw a weapon. Perhaps use your left hand to do that. Where I don't know if this is making sense here. I mean, you in your experience would know better, but it is something I'd like to share with the viewers as well. And the views are coming in quite great. We do appreciate all of the viewers and listeners. Please share your interactions with us, and you can comment below as well. Mike, please add to that. Are there tips that you can give?
Yeah, so that is a good tip. The first rule of engagement would be, if a person points a gun at you, or people points guns at you, and especially in a hijacking situation, is to call those people sir, which I mean is you're humble, you don't look directly in the eyes, you lift your hands, you do everything slowly, and you wait for instructions. You ask for instructions if necessary, but they will usually tell you. It's very seldom that hijackers don't know what to do. It's very seldom that they will fumble around and stuff like that. It would usually be a team. They might have newcomers there, but they will be on the outskirts. There might be spotters or watchers or extra, call it assistants to the hijackers, but there will be a main guy, and he will give the instructions. He will be calm, he will be cool, he'll be collective, and he'll tell you to get out of the vehicle. He might ask you a question or two. They will even check inside if the kids are out, dogs, babies, whatever, because they do only want the car and your valuables. Another guy might come and take the jewelry, take the handbags, or the man's briefcase, or the watches, etc., etc.
Now, on this point, what makes them then become violent? What irks them, or gets them on their toes? What makes them become violent, draw a weapon, or start shooting? What happens then? Why would in some instances, we've seen hijackers do that? Unfortunately, it does happen. Maybe somebody's overreacting. I mean, you don't blame them, but is that perhaps one of the contributing factors here? Yeah,
I will never blame people, because, as I've said, nobody is really prepared. I can give all this information, and everybody can write it down, but in that situation, Your body can make sudden moves. You can pass out. You can grab to something out of a reaction. You can do something, or you can defend or make a move, and they might get a fright and shoot you. It does happen. But it is best that a family always have recent and constant chats in a family situation, and those who are driving together and those who are driving themselves, to have this conversation with themselves, to read up about this, to read our projects, for instance, which has all the tips and all the information on it, and to prepare themselves, visualizing themselves, getting themselves emotionally, even physically, if necessary, in a form of reenactment in their mind. If this were to happen, what would I do? Because they get violent when there's any form of defense or aggression or confrontation. That's why we always say, we as specialist investigators, if we were to get in a situation where it's a serious violent crime situation and there's guns pointed at us, we will do the same. Even though if we have the upper hand and we can take them out and be the first shooters, and we're having the guns on them first, we will also look for scenarios where they would show aggression and then shoot. It's a reverse situation. So it's got nothing to do with how strong you are, how much weight you lift, and what kind of karate guy you are, etc., and blaming yourself, you're not doing anything. This is a situation where there's guns on you. There's most probably your wife next to you. There's most probably kids. And you sit here in a situation where these criminals around you are unpredictable. And just like that can pull the trigger. And as I've said, some of them can be there for the first time. They could be very jittery, very nervous, and they can shoot. So very slow movements, no aggression, no direct eye confrontation. Don't say, can I get my bag? Don't ask questions. Get out of the car. If it's necessary, lie on the floor, look away, and just stay clear from any form of confrontation.
As you said, follow their instructions. You mentioned
you follow the instructions. You be careful if you've got kids with you. It's very important that you show your concern to the kids, obviously, but they will. It's very seldom that they take the kids. What they will do is they might spend a bit of extra time intimidating whilst taking the jewelry and everything out of the car. But in our experience, hijacking goes quickly. They want to get the vehicle.
They're not really there for the kid in the back of the seat or in the car, whatever. They're just there for the whatever is in the vehicle, and they just want the vehicle. That's basically it.
They want the vehicle.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's good. And obviously, you've shared a number of talking points. I mean, awareness being key, obviously, of potentially dangerous situations, moving around, quickly moving around the car that suddenly and unexpectedly stops can make all the difference. Reactions are important. However, if it's impossible to not, do this, oncoming cars or, things like this in an instance, rather surrender the car, then subject yourself to physical harm. Basically, that's what Mike is saying. Mr. Bolhuis, thank you so much once again for your contribution and your time tonight. We appreciate it. You've highlighted a number of talking points about crime prevention and projects, etc., and also how to just be careful and how these syndicates operate. We appreciate your time, Mr. Bolhuis. You take care and have a great evening.
Thanks. God bless. Be safe. All of the best. And thank you once again.
It's only a pleasure saying you as well, Mr. Bolhuis. We'll chat again soon. Take care. That's Mr. Mike Bolhuis, who is a private investigator and also a specialist investigator into violent and serious crimes and economic crimes. Mr. Mike Bolhuis talking to us about a new modus operandi, which hijackers are using nowadays. And this brings us, it's exactly 9 p.m. on the dot. Woo! The time is flown by. What a jam-packed show it's been. It's been great hosting you guys. Man, the energy has been insane. We appreciate all the viewers and listeners, your contributions, your comments, your feedback. Man, we love you all. And it's been fantastic having everybody. A recap of the show. I spoke to Tsecho Matebula, who's the activities manager at the Kruger National Park. That was in our Go Wild segment. We had a chat with Jan van Malen, in Tech Talk Part 1 about Google threatening to leave Australia. In Part 2 of Tech Talk, I spoke to a young lady by the name of Hijackin, and she's an award-winning game developer, and we spoke about some of the games that you can expect in 2021. In the sports segment, I spoke to Len Moleko, who gave us the latest in the world of football, and Mr. Mike Bolhuis concluded our Car Talk segment. Now, don't forget, I'm mentioning this, there is, inshallah, going to be something big happening in the e-gaming segment. Myself and my team are coming up with something very innovative. Inshallah, it materializes. Look forward to that. E-gaming on Friday Night Live with ST. On that note, I bid you a very good farewell, inshallah, until, next week. Zakir will be here. I'll be here the week after. But until I see you once again, same time, same place, inshallah. Have yourself a great weekend, a safe one, wherever you are. And from me and the rest of the team, Sadek, Salailo, and the rest of my team, Alia, and everybody else who makes it happen, I'm just the glue that, holds it together. Assalamu alaikum, dumalang, and goeiedag, goodbye, take care, wassalam.